So if you're like me and you run a business, you know that you need to be on social media. It's just part of the game that we have to play right now because you want to be an authority figure. You want to make sure your brand is getting out there, that you're building a tribe around what you're trying to grow and build. But again, coming up with content every day on top of everything else that you have to do is really taxing and time consuming. And so today I want to show you an agent. It's a workflow with several agents in it that I built that will automatically research any topic that you want, will then draft LinkedIn posts for you, and then if you want, we'll even auto post them. And I'm going to show you several different use cases for that. But this is the actual workflow here, and it looks really difficult or really confusing. It's actually not. And I'm integrating it with Slack. And so this first chunk right here, this is all the Slack integration. And so if you get nothing else from this video, go and download the JSON code that I've put in the link in the description, because what it will do here is you can reuse this with every other workflow that you want to use that you integrate with Slack. I'm going to walk you through how I designed this, and then I'm going to show you the back half of this, which is the processing of the actions that we're requesting. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a couple of use cases that I'm currently using it for. Now, this is an active workflow, so this isn't like something I've just built and then I left on the testing rack. I'm actually actively using this every day. But if we zoom in here, for the sake of time, I'm not going to walk through all of how you set up a Slack integration or how you call an HTTP request, or even how you do things like set up a Supabase for memory. If you want to know how to do that stuff, there are lots of other videos online that will show you specifically how to do that. I'll link to a few of those in the description as well. Really what I want to do is explain to you what's happening here, because there are some code nodes so that you get an understanding of the process. So inside of Slack, we have a lot of different things. So let me pull up my Slack here. In Slack, they allow you to thread conversations. So I was working on something a little bit earlier today, and you can see here that we have conversations in here, but then we have threaded conversations underneath. And this is just to help keep everything organized in Slack. If you're familiar with Slack, you know how this works. Okay. And so what we need to do, and the difficult thing that we run into when we start creating integrations with Slack, is we need to do some work so that we can tell the AI, hey, is this the first message that we're sending out? Is it the first, draft me a LinkedIn post for this YouTube video, or is it part of a conversation that we're having? Because one of the things we're going to ask this agent to do is not just to write the post, but also to take feedback and rewrite and re-engage. And so we've several things that we've got to do to make that happen. So the first thing is just a Slack trigger right here. And then the very first thing I have it do is just send me a message back. And all that message says is just ... And you'll see why this is important in a minute. But basically, when we go out and ask it to research, or we ask it to do some complex writing, sometimes it can take 10, 15, 20 seconds to get a response back. And if you've ever played around in N8N at all, you'll know that when you're doing a test workflow, you can actually see the workflow moving. So it's no big deal. You know it's working. But when you actually turn it on and you go active, now all of a sudden it doesn't show you that anymore. So you're kind of wondering when you click send, hey, did this workflow execute correctly? Did it actually receive my message? And so that first little message that we send ... just says, hey, yeah, we got the message, we received, we're working on it. Okay. The next code node here is just a simple code node that classifies this as, hey, is this the first query that I sent, or is it part of a thread of communication that we're on? And I didn't write this, I actually stole this. And by the way, big shout out to Bradford Carlton for helping me with a lot of this. He built out some of the chunks of this and then I added to it. He's got a great school community. I will also link to that in the description as well. And if you guys are interested in really diving deep and want a mentor in this, Bradford's a great guy. I can't give him enough credit. One of the most responsive guys in the space. So, and again, when you download the JSON code, just steal this code, right? It'll work perfectly. The next thing we do is we go to a switch here, and I've got several different options. So I have a regular text. So if I'm just typing something out, then I have a voice option. So Slack will allow you to record audio. Okay. So I can come in here and I can actually record audio. And if we do that and I choose to do that, then we need to transcribe that audio into text. And so that's what this path does. And then the top path is, hey, if I give it a document, or in my case, what I do all the time is when I get done with these videos, I get a transcript of it. And then I say, hey, write me a LinkedIn post based on this transcript for my next YouTube video. And what it does is it pulls that file, it extracts all the information from that file, and then we move to a merge node. And so basically, if we look in here, and I'll show you how this works when we execute it. But basically, we're going from the code node and we're saying, hey, is it a text file? Is it an M4A, which is an audio file? Or is it, I'm sorry, is this like a PDF file? Or is it a text file? Meaning, did I just type text? And all we're doing is classifying that in that particular node. Then we run through the process, and again, we're just pulling this information through. So if we go to the text and we're pulling the information through, and we come to the merge node. And what this merge node does is it's going to take all of the information and kind of combine it together. So if I had a request like, hey, read through this transcript and create a LinkedIn post for me, it needs both the transcript data and it needs the my request. And all we're doing here is we're just pushing it all together. And what this does really is, number one, it allows us to execute multiple steps and kind of combine things. But more importantly is it takes two requests and turns it into one, which just streamlines your process. It's less calls. It's less money in the end that you have to spend. Okay. Once we've merged this stuff together, the next node is another code node. And this code node, again, is just combining all the text fields and inputs into a single string. And this is going to be helpful as we move into this last chunk. And again, I can't overemphasize, just download the JSON and just steal this, because it will bolt on to literally every agent, every workflow that you build, so that you can execute this stuff correctly every single time. And once you built it once, it just works. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is we got to have some memory, and we got to ask a question here. And the question is just, hey, all we're doing now, again, is just classifying this and determining, is it a thread? Is it original? What's the original user? There's just what's the session ID? And so this is information that N8N needs in order to properly route this information. And so if we come down here, this code node, this if node just says, it's basically yes or no. And it's saying, hey, was this the first message? And basically it's saying if it's top, then that means it's the first one in the string, then that's the very first message. And if that is the case, then I just want you to pass it over to this last code node. And if it's not, then I want you to go down here to this Postgres node, and I want you to update the memory. Now, Postgres, if you don't know, is a program that connects with different types of databases. And the one I'm using is called Supabase. And again, if you don't know how to set up a Supabase account, it's really easy to do. It doesn't cost, it's a free account, because I use this all the time, and I still haven't reached the free limit that they offer me inside of Supabase. And what we can do is we can create databases that store all of our chat conversations. And this is really important when we've got long amounts of information that we're trying to store up and that we want to keep track of. And so you could technically use some simple memory, but as you'll see in a minute, this is just a more effective way of handling memory inside of an application like this. So we're going to update all of the information and all the text conversations, and then we're going to pass it up to the last code node. And this last code node really is just combining all of this information together. Because again, if we've got previous chat conversations and the current chat conversation, we need to take all that information and we need to pass it forward to the AI agent so that it has the context to understand what we're talking about. Otherwise, it only remembers the first conversation that you sent out, and that's no good. Okay. And then last but not least, we're just merging all this data together. That's it. So we've now have one stored piece of information that we're going to pass along. And this is again, something that I think every one of you should have, especially if you're using Slack. And I've tried Slack and a bunch of other ones. I've tried Telegram. Slack is it's the best for doing not one-off conversations, but like multiple detailed back and forth communication with the agent, it's just better than any of the other kind of over-the-counter stuff that you're going to get. Okay, so at this point, you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe a little dejected at the realization that this whole AI agent thing isn't going to be quite as easy as you thought. Well, I have some good news. It can be. You see, the engineering team at Motion have spent years designing the most powerful work tool for the 21st century, and they already have AI agents, including an email agent, built directly into their platform that their engineering team can customize to fit your company's unique needs. So if you want a simple and friction-free way to add agents to your business, then click on the link in the description for a free trial to test Motion for yourself. And for everyone else, back to the episode. Okay, so that's the first half. And now all we've done is we've just managed our communication and made sure that the AI agents that we're going to use can actually get the information that they need to do the work we're asking them to do. And then the next thing that I plug in here is a text classifier node. Now this is an AI agent, just like anything else, but it has one sole job, and that is to determine what is being asked of me and to sort of classify those into different areas. One of the things that you see, I did a video on this earlier, I'll link to that somewhere up here, where I talked about how most people design AI agents on YouTube and how messed up it is and how none of them really work right. The reason they don't work right is because you're asking it to kind of do too many things. And AI agents, as I said in that other video, do really well when they have very specific tasks with very clear instructions. It's when you start asking them to handle multiple things and sort of juggle which sort of agent or which workflow should I be using that you start to run into a lot of problems and things start to break. So what I did here was I created a text classifier node, and all I'm doing here is I'm pulling in the current request, the past conversation, and the previous conversation chain. And again, when we run this workflow, this will make more sense. And then for each one of these, I have one for researcher, one for LinkedIn post generator, and one general one for copywriting, because I find sometimes I just need some help writing some copy. So I might send over some of the copy that I've written for a sales page or for a promotion that I'm running. And then I'll ask the AI agent, I'll say, hey, craft me some email copy that I can use to promote this offer that I've got. So I added that one in as well. And then each one of these just has a description of what it is. It says this category is for all user requests that involve conducting research, gathering information, or answering questions that require research or researching the internet, online databases, or up-to-date external sources. So essentially, and I give it some examples of the type of things that I might ask and the stuff that I'm doing. All I'm doing is just trying to give it some context so it knows where to route each one of these. And so I just went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, write me a description for a text classifier node for the category X. And then I said, this is what I want it to do. And it wrote me out these really great little descriptions that have worked fantastic. Okay. Now from there, it gets routed one of three areas. It either gets routed here to the AI research agent, or down here to the middle one, which is my LinkedIn post generator, or down here to copywriting. And if you think about it, this section here on all of these is exactly the same. So I know it looks confusing, like, oh, you have to build out so much, but really this is just copy and paste, because this is the return information that's going back to Slack and updating the memory. That's all that is. So inside the research agent, real simple, I'm just saying, hey, pull the text in and then go to Perplexity and use Perplexity to research what it is I'm looking for. And then return the information back, update the Postgres, so set up the memory, and then update all the memory, right? When we come down here to the LinkedIn stuff, which is what you're probably really interested in, is we again go from one text classifier to another. This second text classifier, all we're asking is, hey, are they asking me to draft a post or send a post or post a post, right? That's all I'm asking here. And so if I use terms, again, for send, go ahead and send that post, send it out now, yes, post it, any of these sort of examples and descriptions. And if you want to steal these, again, steal these, what do you call them? The descriptions, just download the JSON and steal them. They'll work great. Then Once we decide, is it a draft or is it a post, it's going to run down one of these two paths. If we're going to draft a post, we've got one here. The first AI agent we come to is one that is going to, again, first, if we read the system prompt here, I'll just read it to you. You're a LinkedIn ghostwriter, no BS, high energy content strategist who turns raw ideas into real-time context into scroll-stopping LinkedIn posts that shake up the feed and get business owners talking. Here's your mission. Here's all the context that you need. And then we've got a bunch of stuff in here like what to do and what not to do. This is what really makes or breaks the quality of the content that you're going to get back. Is how clear is the system prompt? What are you telling it to do? What sort of limitations and extra instructions are you giving it? And then going back in and tweaking those based on the response that you get from the agent, right? Now we're going to send the draft back to the user. And what this agent does is it actually comes in and it says, this is the reviewer. So what it's going to do is the first agent drafts the post. And then when they send it back, they actually send it back with recommendations. Like, hey, here's what I might do different, or here's how we might improve upon what this agent just did. And that's kind of helpful. This has mixed use. I don't usually use it, but it's cool to have it in there just in case. Especially, I've been a professional copywriter for 15 years. So I kind of know what's good and what isn't. If you're not very familiar with that and you don't write a lot of copy or LinkedIn or social media stuff, this can be very helpful for you in determining what you need to do next. And then once it's created that draft and it has created the recommendations, it's just going to send it back to me. And again, then update the memory in Postgres, in Supabase, so that I've got a record so we can communicate. Then when I'm ready to send it, boom, it's just going to send it. We're going to update it into a spreadsheet. We're going to use a LinkedIn node in order to post it. And then we're going to send me a confirmation back and update the memory again. It sounds complicated. It's really not. So let me show you how this works in practice. Okay. So let's get back here to the beginning. Let's pull this over. Let's see. Let's go with a use case. Let's just say that we are interested in financial news. Let's say we deal with financial news all day. We're a real estate broker. Well, we could do real estate if we wanted to. I was just saying you're a financial advisor. Let's do that. You're trying to give everybody valuable stuff each day. So I'm just going to ask it to find me some information on the most pertinent news stories of the day. Do some research for me on the top trending financial news of today. And it's going to clean this up for me. Oh, and the app I'm using for that is an app called Mac Whisper. There's several of them out there, but it allows me to just talk instead of type, which for some people is really helpful. And then again, we're going to click go. And the first thing it's going to do is going to send us a reply. Like I said before, ... And you can see, I'm going to let this run just so you can see how long it takes for it to run through and actually do its execution. If we come in here and look at executions, we can tell it's running right now, but we can't tell what it's doing. And if I don't have my N8N open, the only way I know that this processed is I get that ... And here we go. Now we've got it in. Here we go. Fed interest rates hold steady. USB ends contract with BlackRock. USB group. Okay, this looks pretty good. So this are some top news stories for today. Now, instead of going back out to the original chat, because of the way we set this up and we've threaded our posts and we're allowing it to come back and read the threaded posts and understand that this is part of a whole conversation, I can simply come in here and say something like, this is fantastic. Now draft me a LinkedIn post that bullets out the top news stories of the day. Click send. Again, it's going to tell me it's working. And in a few seconds, we'll get it back. Boom. And there it is. So it says, here's your LinkedIn draft post. The financial landscape is buzzing today, and here are the top news stories you need to know. Fed interest rates steady. And then we just kind of got them bulleted out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we should have, it didn't send us the suggestions. That's okay. We don't really need them anyway. Now, what can I do with this? I can either take this as is, I can move it into another editor and sort of clean it up and rewrite pieces of it. I can do some stuff like that. But I can also ask it to sort of rewrite this and maybe give it a punchier or a catchier hook at the beginning. I like this, but the hook you have at the beginning isn't very good. Can you create one that is more compelling, that will get them to expand and read the entire post? And again, it's going to go and do its work. And what was the other one? This one was, the financial landscape is buzzing today. Here are the top stories you need to know, right? Now, one of the other things I could have done while this is processing is I could have, when I did the research, asked it to link me to each of the individual news stories that it posted. So if each one of these came from, say, a different source, or and one of them came from NBC, one from CBS, one from Financial Times or whatever, I can pull all that in, and then I can have it add it inside of here as well. Now, external links aren't really great on LinkedIn. That tends to depress the post. But if you wanted to put them, say, in the comments or something, you could certainly do that. All right. The financial landscape has just hit a pivotal moment and you need to pay attention. Here's how to download. Here's the lowdown on the stories shaping our economy today. All right, that's better. I like it. Okay. So now if we want to, we can just go ahead and post this. So I'm just going to do this just to show you how it works. Now, normally you would, this reason I don't like this, and this is really an issue that has to do with LinkedIn. LinkedIn's API integration really sucks. Like, you can't send it to draft. You can't add a picture, at least not easily. So I can't add a picture to this really easily inside of N8N. And it's frustrating because it either has to be good right here, or I have to pull it out of an editor and then take it in and schedule. I can't schedule anything, right? So that's an issue with LinkedIn. There's no real way around that at this point. But let's say that, hey, this is good. I'm just trying to get something out quick. I can just say, this is great. Go ahead and post this to LinkedIn. Click run, and we'll give it another minute. There it is. Your social media team has successfully launched your LinkedIn post. It's now live and ready for public viewing. And we're just going to go back and we're going to take a look to see if that actually worked. And if I bring up my LinkedIn page, you'll see there it is right there, just as we put it out. Now, this is something that we need to fix inside of here. Like, one of the things that they always do is these cheesy questions at the end that really make it look very AI created. But overall, it's a pretty good little way to start generating some content quickly, especially if you're doing something where you're dealing with easily researched stuff on the internet. Now, again, if we need something more complex than that, like, for example, we're doing a YouTube video and we want to create an engaging post for that, we can do that as well. So let's pull one up. And I've got this video's coming out on next week. And so I just want to create a LinkedIn post that'll be ready to go when this video drops. I want you to create a LinkedIn post. Let's just say draft a LinkedIn post, because create should work, but I usually say draft. Draft me a LinkedIn post to promote my latest YouTube video. I've attached the transcript for you to review. We'll go here. We will go to upload from your computer. Here it is. This is the transcript. And go. And it's going to run through that same process again. And so here we go. It says, take a moment and reflect on this. Have you felt trapped in a game of digital tug of war with your business processes? This kind where you're shelling out big bucks for automated tools, knowing that they'll be free. Okay, so this is one about the video I did about Zapier. So this is the one that's coming out tomorrow. So it's like a week old for you guys. So this is just not very good. I want it to have a catchy headline about paying the Zapier tax. So let me go rewrite this and focus the intro on the love-hate relationship that I've had with Zapier and how moving to N8N saved me $1,500 a year, and then rewrite the balance of the post from there. So the cool thing about this now is that you can use with a lot of these conversations, if you've written your system prompts really well, you can use very normal language to communicate with your AI, and it will produce you pretty decent results. So let's see what it comes back with now. All right. Have you ever felt like you're in a twisted love-hate relationship with your automation tools? For 15 years, I've been caught in a Zapier vortex, a lifetime of connecting apps, yet a wallet drainer like no other. I was paying a staggering $1,500 a year for the privilege to move data around between tools, just to pass info from one platform to another. Outrageous. It felt like every touch of the button was costing me. Okay, so this is pretty good. It's a little long. So what we want to do, okay, so it gave us some recommendations here: strengths, personal anecdotes, areas for improvement. Consider improving a bit more context about what an NAD is for those unfamiliar with it. Perhaps include a teaser about what the viewers will learn. So let's have it rewrite again. Well, let's just say, the intro was good, but this post is too long. I want people to go and watch the video. So leave the intro and then just list out a few bullet points of what they're going to get from watching the video. We'll click go and we'll see what it comes back with. Okay, yeah, so this one's a lot better. So now we're a little bit closer. Have you ever found yourself in a twisted love-hate relationship with your automation tools? 15 years I've been caught in a Zapier vortex. I'll probably rewrite this just to say, maybe just start out and say, for the last 15 years, I've been in a love-hate relationship with Zapier. I was shelling out a staggering $1,500 a year just to use it to move data between tools, right? So I can clean this up a little bit. In my latest YouTube video, I reveal how I transitioned from Zapier to N8N, saving myself $1,500 annually. For just $5 a month, I'm now hosting my own workflows and reclaiming control while keeping my sanity intact. Here's what you'll discover in the videos. This is actually really good. I can actually use this to promote the YouTube video. So again, those are a few of the different use cases that we've got here. But hey, like I said, if you're a CEO, if you're a head of a small to mid-sized company and you just don't want to mess with this, you don't want to learn it, and you don't want to hire, because building stuff out like this for enterprise customers normally costs tens of thousands of dollars. It's just a lot of work. And that's why I really love what Motion is doing with their AI agents. If you're an enterprise level customer, they will actually design the AI agents for you inside of Motion so that it will handle all of it for you. And the really cool thing about Motion is that when you use the platform and you're handling all your projects, you're handling all your documents and stuff are being stored in there. You've got everybody's kind of like, you're getting your notes from all of your meetings that are being uploaded there. All the AI agents have that information as well, which makes it's all in one piece. It's really more of a work tool today than it's always been a project management tool, and it excels at that. But they're just making some wild leaps in what the platform will do, so much so that you can't even really call it a project management tool anymore. It's really an AI agent like work tool. And so I'll leave a link in the description at the top to go check them out. I'm sure they'd love to talk to you if you want to build out some custom stuff for your company. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and share. Makes me feel good. And if you do, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to let me keep doing this show, which I really like doing. So anyway, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Take it easy.